I got my dad back for making me go to Sunday school, and he's still paying for it 30 years later. So back in the 80s, my dad made me and my siblings go to church every single Sunday. Not just church, but Sunday school too. And at 13 years old, I was absolutely done with it. Picture this. You're 13, going through puberty, mad at the world, and some lady is making you color pictures of Jesus with crayons like you're 5 years old for an entire hour, while all your friends are at home playing video games or sleeping in. I'd been putting up with this torture for years, but that particular Sunday, I decided I'd had enough. When we got to church, I walked up to my dad and asked if I could just stay in the main service with him instead of going to Sunday school. My dad didn't even look up from his bulletin. He just goes, "Absolutely not. You're going to Sunday school like always." I tried explaining that I was too old for coloring books and that sitting with the adults would be more educational, but he wasn't having it. So there I am, sitting through church announcements, getting more and more angry. The pastor's talking about upcoming events and volunteer opportunities, and I'm just stewing in my seat. That's when I heard it. The church was looking for new ushers. They needed people to help with collection plates, greeting visitors, all that stuff. And here's the kicker. It was described as a lifelong commitment to serve the church. The pastor said anyone interested should sign up at the table by the exit after service. When it was time for Sunday school, I asked my dad one more time if I could please stay. He looked at me like I was nuts and basically shooed me away with his hand. That's when I got my brilliant idea. Instead of walking upstairs to Sunday school, I made a detour to that sign-up table by the door. There was this old lady sitting there with a clipboard, smiling at everyone. I walked up and told her my dad wanted to sign up to be an usher, but he was too shy to come over himself. She thought that was so sweet and handed me the clipboard. Now here's the thing. My dad and I had the same first two initials and last name, and I'd gotten pretty good at copying his signature from, let's just say, various school-related situations where I needed parent permission. I signed him up without hesitation. Full commitment. Every third Sunday. The lady was so happy. She said the church really needed dedicated men like my father. 2 weeks later, my dad gets this official letter in the mail. It's from the church, welcoming him to the usher ministry and giving him his schedule for the next 6 months. I'm sitting at the breakfast table when he opens it, trying not to laugh. His face went through about 5 different emotions: confusion, realization, anger, then this weird, resigned look. He stares at me across the table and goes, "Did you sign me up to be an usher?" I just shrugged and said, "I asked if I could skip Sunday school and you said no, so I found another way to make church more interesting." My dad was furious. But here's the thing that made it perfect. He couldn't back out without looking like a complete jerk. He'd been going to this church since 1933. Everyone knew him. His reputation was on the line. So every third Sunday for the next 20 years, my dad had to show up early, put on a suit, and hand out bulletins with a smile on his face. The best part? He actually ended up loving it. He made friends with the other ushers, felt important, and always talked about his church duties. My dad's 92 now and still brings up how his 13-year-old son got him into a 20-year commitment he never signed up for. And me? I never had to color another picture of Jesus again.